I didn't. We don't get much. We don't get much Brooklyn around here anymore.
Is Todd still talking?
I didn't have a lot to choose from.
Hey everybody, welcome back tonight. So tonight, I haven't heard this song in a while actually, but it's an old school favorite right there. So welcome back as tonight we start to get into some of the beers and talk about Brooklyn Brewery out of where? Brooklyn, New York, of course. You think there's no trick question there. It was Brooklyn, New York. So we'll get into talking about the Brooklyn Brewery at some point here. We'll talk a little beer news. We'll talk about whatever we want to talk about because guess what? It's our show. We're just going to choose our topics and you got to just sit there and watch. I am, of course, Rod J here in Cincinnati. And the usual suspects as always. We've got Eric.
Eric, you need to get that strawberry one.
I gotta find that one. I do.
Am I in the intro still? I mean, I'm gonna hold it until we get into that part. We'll be looking for fill-ins over the next week or so for people that can follow instructions. So Eric, a Lions fan, and you can check out his channel, of course. And beer.
By the way, the videos suck. Okay, the videos suck. By the way,
I'm not gonna get through my monologue. Does anybody do this to freaking Jimmy Kimmel when he comes out? I mean, does anybody interrupt him when he's out there talking? We got Average Joe from now the world-renowned Beer Patrol, the Beer Patrol with the double L. Make sure you get the double L in there. Launched the channel, some pretty good videos out of Buffalo. Kind of watching the playoffs, although his Sabres aren't there, so he's not as happy about it, I guess. But he's still involved. Hi, Joe. And then we've got Todd here over in Indiana. No channel, so I can't tell you to watch anything. But Todd's a regular on a lot of different shows. It's kind of decided. He's just like, you'll never know where you're going to see him pop up. He's just there. So welcome, my friend. How's everybody feeling tonight? Now you can talk. Everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So this is what I have to deal with on a week in and a week out basis. So tonight we'll talk Brooklyn, and I've actually got the Brooklyn Lager and the Brooklyn Pilsner. But a Pilsner is a lager. So I'm kind of confused in that regard. So those are the two I obviously have here. And what do you guys have on your end? Am I on a tape delay? What the fuck is going on tonight?
Rod, we don't want to interrupt and get.
Yeah, we don't want to interrupt you.
I also have the Brooklyn Lager because it's not iconic, but it's classic in some ways. And then because it's totally summer out, I got the Brooklyn Summer Ale because, it's not like it's 38 degrees outside or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Todd.
You're muted, Todd, maybe?
No, he's not muted. I don't know what Todd.
He's not muted.
No words coming out, Todd. Your lips are moving. Todd, we can't hear you. Earth to Major Todd.
Can he hear us?
Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
His mic's muted now.
Now you're muted. Now you're muted. I don't know. Todd may have to restart if Google kind of screwed with him again.
Yeah.
We're not hearing you at all, Todd.
Oh, we can hear you now.
You can hear him?
I heard him laugh.
Oh, I can't hear him at all.
While my beer is chilling down and while Todd gets his technical issues straightened out, I got the Brooklyn Pale Ale, but for right now until it chills down because I just got here and just walked in the door probably 10 minutes ago. Right now I'm drinking an M43, but later on I'm going to be drinking the Brooklyn, I think it's the Pale Ale.
M43, not a bad choice.
Eric, I wish you reviewed it right now, honestly. Mother fudgers.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, buddy.
M43, a fine beer itself, a fine beer.
It's pretty tasty.
That's pretty crystal clear there on the Brooklyn lager.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, I poured mine, and yeah, has a nice clarity to it.
Well, they filter before it goes to the bottle as well.
And I will get into this later, but if you look on your bottle, Rod J of the Rod J Beer Ventures, it says brewed and bottled by the Brooklyn Brewery, Utica, New York, and that's because it was originally brewed and still is, I believe, at Saranac, which is Matt FX Brewing Company. Only beer they brew there because they can't keep up with demand at their Williamsburg, Brooklyn location. So
5.2% ABV. It's not bad. This is actually what I had before. Apparently, Untapped, I rated 3.75. That's what I rated it previously. And if you guys are on tap, yeah, we can hear you now.
There you go. Now we got you.
If you're on a tap, feel free to join me at Rod J Beer Ventures as well.
Don't join the Beer Patrol. I can't handle all the friends.
Eric's beer reviews.
Yeah, make sure you hook us all up there and we'll share. And Todd, you're on that tap too.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a channel, doesn't matter.
So
doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
I didn't know you guys couldn't hear me. I was wondering. I was like, said my beer like 3 times, and you're like, "So what are you drinking?" And I'm like, "Again, I got to say it again. I already said it like 3 times."
Say it again.
I'm drinking the black chocolate stout. For those of you that didn't see or hear me the first time, 4 times.
Which is everyone.
Yeah, there it is. Which I have that in the fridge, but I did not feel like breaking it out tonight. I don't know why.
Well, I didn't have many choices. We don't get a lot of Brooklyn anymore here.
Which I went to the store to get Brooklyn earlier, and a place I usually go to apparently has now started not to carry as much Brooklyn. And I was like, there was very limited on what they had on the shelf, so I don't know. They're resizing some things, but Brooklyn may not be one of the
My options was the black chocolate stout or a 12-pack of the lager or the summer. No, what was it? What was the one you had, Joe?
The summer ale.
Yeah, the summer ale, but it was cans and not bottle.
I thought the summer ale is usually a pretty popular one now.
Yeah, I was
to buy a 12-pack of those, so I just stuck with the black chocolate stout.
I was hoping this wasn't like last year's summer ale because I picked it up at a Mix of Six Wegmans grocery store. And I'm like, Brooklyn summer ale, come on, it's barely even spring. I'm like, is this 2017? But then I looked and it was the Best Buy of August 2018. So it is this year's, hopefully.
Well, before we start swinging in some things, are there any comments out there, Joe?
Let's look. We have none.
Okay, well, there you go. So
at least they're not showing up for me.
Earlier today, on my way before I got to Brooklyn, I went online the other day, and we have this auction house. It's called EBTH, Everything But the House. I think they're actually all over the country now. You can actually go online and check them out. And sometimes I'll go in there and see what they got for beer things. And so they had this beer mirror in there. I said, well, I'm not a huge Corona fan, but you know what? I like a beer mirror put in the background. As you can see all the different stuff behind me. I figure I'd get something else put up on the wall or whatever, right? So they go in there and somebody had bid like $1 on it or whatever. So all right, I'll go there, throw in like up to $10. I figured it'd be like a little mirror, kind of like the Sierra Nevada up there. Mm-hmm. I ended up winning the bid at $8. $8.56 with taxes. Mm-hmm. This is the fucking mirror.
Wow.
Seriously. This is the freaking mirror that I end up getting. Now, I'm not going to say I get deals or discounts anywhere, but this is a hell of a deal. I have no idea where I'm going to put it on the wall. Luckily, the weather cooperated because when I went to pick it up, I had the Mustang convertible, and it did not fit in the trunk, and it wouldn't fit in the back seat. So luckily, I had to drop the top and put it in the back and have it tilted and drive it all the way home. Luckily, there's no rain or bad weather, but yeah, that's the new mirror that I'm going to try to maybe put on the wall somewhere. I have no idea where. If not here, they're going to the basement, but
That's a pretty sweet mirror. It's unfortunate it's ruined by all the Corona.
Yeah, but it's a nice mirror. I like the mirror.
The mirror is better than the beer.
Yeah.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, so Corona Extra. There you go. But that was my deal of the day, I guess.
Deal of the day. We do have a comment. Lee Russell, a.k.a. the former king of beer tube, but not really. He says, yet to have anything from Brooklyn Brewery. Now I'm afraid that if I ever do, they will long have gotten past their peak period of quality beer. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Brooklyn is they've always made solid stuff, but anything that I ever went gaga over. I mean, there's a couple that I enjoy, but they're just very easy drinking beers. Most of their styles are like pale ales and lagers. And I mean, in their core range, which we'll get to, I think they have another lager. They have like an East IPA that's basically like barely like an English IPA. They go for like easy drinking beers for the most part.
Yeah, my beer is a Best Buy June 18 on it, so it's pretty good.
The lager?
The lager.
Mine's Best Buy May 2018, just in the nick of time.
And my Pilsner is Best Buy July 2018. So, well within their date ranges.
I mean, the Brooklyn Lager I'm drinking right now, it's like, I mean, it's it's all right. I'm drinking it. Do I really want to be? Slightly. Like, okay.
They do go down pretty easily, so
yeah, there's nothing offensive about the Brooklyn Lager whatsoever.
Right.
But there's also nothing like, I want to drink 8,000 of those. Nah.
Like, nah, son.
Nah, son.
It's not like Tennessee.
No, it's not like the cream ale. I picked up that mix pack, by the way. Can't wait to get to the sampler cream. Jetty week, baby. Upcoming. Can't wait to drink all the Jetty.
And then in other news, and not sure how many of you guys actually follow the blog out there, but I do have the blog out there, and FeeSpot came out with their top blogs for 2018. And I'm going to scroll down here because I'm not in the top 100, but I'm just outside of it. And they actually added in at 109.
Oh, boy.
Rajay BeerVentures.
Nice.
So, thanks for all the support of you guys here and all that watch and all that become involved. If you haven't been to the blog, it's rajaybeerventures.com. And there's some different things out there from videos and press releases and all kind of stuff for different breweries taking place. In fact, I just uploaded one, which is a beer coming together, a collaboration between Mad Tree and Jackalope. They're putting together a beer that's about to hit the market. So nice little thing there. So that's always appreciative. And down here, they kind of tell you that blogs are based on Google reputation and Google search ranking, influence popularity on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media, quality, consistency, and FeeSpot's editorial team expert review. So put that on there. They gave me a little badge to put up there. So not only am I a top 50 YouTube wine YouTuber, but I'm also a top 200 beer blogger. So
nice.
Let's settle down. Top 110.
Well, yeah. I got some more people to get ahead of there, but they got some pretty good, interesting people on the list. I mean, people you've heard, like Full Pints, #1, Beer Pulse is #2, All About Beer is #3, Draft Magazine #4, Craft Beer and Brew Magazine is #5. So they got a lot of reputable websites out there. So,
Now, is it just websites, or was anyone that does like beer blogs, like on YouTube or anything like that? Or?
They're pretty much, I think, all beer blogs. The Brew Review crew, they're out of Northern Ohio. They have a YouTube channel, but they do a blog as well. They're on the list at 53. Beer out of Michigan, they're on the list and they're on their blog, so which I contribute to once in a while on theirs. But they're all mostly just all beer blogs. So
cool.
Nice.
So, so if you guys want to check out the blog, you can check out the blog. But just try and do a little bit of thing here in the world of beer. You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
We all can't be the Beer Patrol just rocking the world.
Yeah.
Well, you're roll.
Top 1,500 or so. Jason Voorhees shows up with an emoji smiley face of a cat.
So, Jason.
What's up, Jason? Yeah. Lee says, "Congrats, Rod. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing how your blog ranks in wine blog lists."
I know. I'm conflicted now.
Don't jinx the man.
Yeah.
Probably in the top 50 if I had to guess. And then Tyler Finkbonner, what's up, Tyler? He says, "Congrats, Rod. Very well deserved."
Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it, sir.
You'll
Tyler,
never
you need to
see
slow-
me on that list, by the way.
Nah, definitely not.
You know,
You don't have a blog. Oh, yeah, exactly.
but if you
No,
can pull
I didn't
that
say you'll
off,
never
that's
see me on that list.
You would be the top 100 PSAs, though.
Ah.
Probably top 10. When he's not sober, maybe top 50.
Well, last week's was top 10, probably for sure.
It was one of the best ever because he gave us like a short PSA.
It was short and direct.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
It's
I
like,
was freaking hammered that night, man.
guys, if you have too much to drink, then don't drive. Oh my God, where am I? Fantastic. Okay.
So, Lord
Short, sweet,
Hobo,
to the point.
who does the boom sauce that a lot of people know out there, they're about to release Angelica, a New England wheat beer. So I haven't had any of their beers that weren't. I only had two of their beers. They were both New England style IPAs. I don't know. And I thought their other one was a New England style IPA they have there too. I thought they had three of them. Like one was a session type one.
Yeah, they try a little bit. They try.
But I don't know. When I had them, they didn't live up to the hype for me, but they were still good. Just didn't live up to it.
Yeah, they got when they first showed up here a couple years ago, there was a lot of hype, like, oh my God, try boom sauce and blah 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 and this and that. And I was like, yeah, they're solid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but I think a lot of breweries have caught up in the last couple of years. So
I wonder if we put too much hype around beers sometimes though as well. So it's hard for them to all live up to it.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends if there's local hype or national hype. It's very different. Like you look at a brewery like Old Nation, who which we talked about before, struggling, and then they come in with their M43 and all the other beers, and there's been a lot of hype around them for a good year, and then we all got to try them, and well deserved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are some that deserve them and some that don't. But again, everybody's palate's different, so it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Hey, you talk about a brewery being close to the line from what I've read about them. If that M43 wouldn't have hit, they might have had their doors closed.
Yep.
That ended up saving their hide, really.
That's surprising for me to read, too. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, had you even heard about them before M43?
Not until they came out with that, and it got such big, critically acclaimed, I guess, for a beer. Reviews were good and all that. I never heard of them before.
Yeah, which is basically, I guess, their issue, right? Before that beer, they were.
You were right down the street from them, essentially.
Yeah, I'm like half hour from the brewery.
Yeah. I wonder, did they win out at Great American Beer Fest? Is that when they started getting a little bit more buzz about them? Did they medal out there, maybe?
I don't. To be honest, Rod, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say yes and then look like a fool. So.
Yeah. Well played. There's too many people that do that in society.
I think you could just say yes and just leave it at that. You don't have to look like a fool. Just yes. Everyone shows up. Yeah, Eric's right for sure. A couple weeks later, Eric, by the way, you were wrong.
You were wrong, Eric. You were wrong.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
It looks like Boston Beer's rebounding. Their sales are back up this first quarter. They're saying 15% shipment growth. So they were on the what I want to say. They were taking some hits for a while.
Are they
Everyone's kinda
still a craft brewery?
They were what?
Are they still a craft brewery, or have they? Did the Brewers Association still need to raise the limit?
No crap. I mean, technically, that's all they were.
Here we go.
Kids, we watch the commercial in the football game. You make the call.
Yeah, you made the call.
Well, everyone was kind of raving about their New England IPA.
I had it.
I haven't had it yet. That's one I need to try.
I haven't had it yet either.
I thought, I mean, on Tap, they gave it a 3.5 or 3.75. I think of the big boys when it comes to micro or craft. Sierra Nevada and New Belgium and all the bigger breweries trying to do it. I think it was one of the better ones, if not the best.
Have you had it, Todd?
I have not. Can you hear
We
me?
can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you, Todd. It's like $2 a can. Get on that shit, boys. Get on it.
I'm sure I'm sure we got it around here. I just haven't looked for it.
I think you'll be surprised that it is quite flavorful and kind of true to the style for the price. Because you go pick up M43, Eric, and I'll mention it again just because I'm pissed. But how much you pay for a 4-pack? It's $16, $18, right? So you're paying anywhere from $4 to
$14.99.
Okay, so $15. So like about $4 a can, $3.75, $4. For $2, that's almost half the price. I'd say it's not half as good. It's better than that. I don't know.
When they're doing pint cans with Sam Adams, all right.
Well, everybody does. M43 is for 16 ounce too.
Oh yeah,
those are pounders. Those are all pounder cans. Yeah, 16 ounces. 473 milliliters for our Canadian friends. and our UK buddies. Craig said he's going to watch his back. So if Craig watches his back, I got you.
I don't know when the rest of the world's going to finally realize they need to go to ounces because America's not changing. A long fight, we're not quitting.
Most people probably just think "fu" United States. Change your ways. Like this was first, and now you're trying to do things differently. You shouldn't. I'm getting better at it though, like conversion, whether it's temperature or going into milliliters to ounces. I'm getting better. I'm so happy.
I wasn't even speeding. I was going 40 kilometers. I don't even know how fast that is.
Yeah. Is that 32 miles an hour? I'm confused. Like when you get up there, it's like you can do 100 on the QEW, which everyone does like $1.20, $1.40, and I'm like, what? Is that 65? Is that 70? What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't want to get fucking pulled over by the Mountie.
Damn metric system. We never had that on Schoolhouse Rock. Looking ahead to the Brooklyn Brewery, ahead of what we're going to talk about. It looks like they're actually bringing the beer mansion to Dallas. So if you're in the Dallas area, 2-day event taking place in Deep Ellum on June 15th and 16th, a food, music, and brew-fueled bash. Party includes live music, arcade games, unlimited beer tastings from 7 different breweries, including Brain Dead Brewing, Lakewood Brewing, and Brooklyn Brewery. Live performances, all kinds of stuff happening there. So if you're in the Dallas area, something to look forward to. I don't know why Brooklyn have to go all the way to Dallas. You would think they'd throw a nice big party in Brooklyn.
You would think that, but they can't even brew their beers in Brooklyn. So
yeah.
I'm looking at my summer ales, about to crack it open. I'm like, oh, it says brewed bottled in Utica, New York. So it's Saranac again.
It's not as bad as some of the imports. They're like, oh, brewed in New York or Connecticut or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be an import. I'm getting hit with an import price, and you're brewing domestically here. That's some bull.
Mm-hmm.
We occasionally see that on some of the bottles. If I see any other beer news type items out here. Talking about more of the grocery stores might start opening up some selling of alcohol there for beer.
Yeah.
Still talking about Blue Moon doing the cannabis infused craft beer. That's still becoming like the thing out there. Which I do want to see. If I go out there, I would go to the Blue Moon Brewery because I heard it is pretty cool.
Apparently, they have like a lot of great American wild ales that they do at the brewery. Which I heard like I remember watching one of Jody's Tuesday when it was Tuesday share beer. This is like 3 years ago, and I forget the guy who lives in Colorado who has the brewery now out there. But he was telling people about brewery's pretty damn good and they have solid beer. Then I remember seeing a couple articles about like if you are in Colorado, you should go to the Blue Moon Brewery. They have amazing beer, and I'm like, why is that not on shelves then?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, why are we just getting Blue Moon in varieties? Where is this so amazing beer? You hiding it from us, you mother effers?
It is interesting how some breweries will just have stuff you have to go to the brewery to actually get, which is like when I went to Mad Tree last weekend, some of their stuff was just only in the brewery. And it's like,
but that's Mad Tree, Rod. And Mad Tree has a good reputation. Blue Moon is getting sued about not being an actual craft brewery and being deceiving and all this. Give us your good beer, Blue Moon. That's all we're asking for. Coors, give us your good beer.
Why are you holding the good stuff here?
What the hell? You sons of bitches.
Yeah. Does anybody ever crave a Blue Moon, I wonder? Like sometimes
of us, they're like in general.
Just in general, I mean, like I wonder.
I'm sure people love it.
Yeah.
You'd have to. I mean, clearly, a lot of people buy it. So the sheer amount of variety packs and mix packs they release would indicate people buy it up and enjoy it. I have never met a person that like Blue Moon is their favorite beer. I've met people that enjoy Blue Moon and Shock Top and will drink it, and and they're fine with it and they like it. But I've never seen someone be like, "Which favorite beer?" Blue Moon, hands down. No doubt.
I would say actually, I've met some women that do like Blue Moon. That's kind of like their favorite. I think with the whole orange thing and everything.
They fruit the beer.
Yeah. So, but
which is fine. I remember the whole. Was it Miller Lite or was it what? I forgot what. This had to be 10 years ago. Like Triple H in the commercial was like, "Don't fruit the beer." It had to be like 10 years ago. And now like craft beer literally fruits all the beers basically at this point. The IPAs, the sours, they're all just all the fruits.
Yeah.
Because people like the fruit.
I remember that tagline, "Don't fruit the beer," but I can't
remember that.
It was.
Yeah. It was I'm almost positive it was Miller Lite. I'm gonna check it.
Uh-oh.
Might be.
Joe goes undercover.
It was called Man Law, and it was I'm pretty sure it was Miller Lite, and they had like a bunch of different celebrities, and I just remember Triple H, the wrestler, being in there. They're like, "Don't fruit the beer." Then like, there's.
I wonder if Man Law will be seen as sexist nowadays, though.
Probably. I'll tell you what, that Man Law would be seen as stupid, Miller.
What would they say about glitter beer?
I'm sure they probably released like a Miller Lite line like a year after that whole thing. Don't fruit the beer. Oh, here's some lime, boys. Enjoy.
Don't put it under our label. Put it under someone else's. Yeah.
Their efforts.
But not seeing anything else up here with the beer news stuff. Not seeing too much more. I think thanks for everybody like the little brewery visits I did out there. That was pretty fun going to Street Side and going to Mad Tree. So I might hit a couple more this weekend to try to. I think I'm going to one down here called Darkness down in Newport. I'll walk in and say Charlie Murphy, but
yeah, you need to.
And
Midnight Evil. Yeah, you need to.
And then we got another called Wood and Cast, so they're both close to each other. I might hit those. I'm not sure yet, but I might try to hit them tomorrow. Or Braxton. Braxton Labs.
I'd be hitting up Braxton.
Was that your first time at the new Mad Tree?
Not the new what?
Was that your first time facility?
Well, that's where I was at when I did that video I just uploaded like a few days ago, the new Mad Tree.
Well, no, I know, but was that your first time at that one?
Oh, no, not the first time. I've been there before, so. That's always a good time going out there. I got the one. I guess I said on the coconut one. I liked it. I just wish I had a little coconut.
Yeah, no, I posted in that whole thing that you seemed a bit disappointed by them because like each one you were drinking, you're like, oh, they're solid, and none wowed you. But I knew the coconut one was like the most disappointing because you're like, there's a little bit more coconut things on my plate.
It got like enough, like it's just enough. It was enough there to give you a little bit of. I mean, it didn't overpower, but you just felt like with all the different beers coming out with coconut now, I feel like they should have had a little bit more in there to make.
Especially having like a Death by Coconut from Oscar Blues, it's like, if Oscar Blues is doing it, then I want you to do it, and I want you to do it like this. Right, Eric? Coconut is the best.
No.
But
Actually, they did have two of them today.
They did have Galaxy High on tap, which I didn't get a chance to. I was going to do another flight, and I had to take off, so I didn't get a chance to put on video. So I had to basically just chug the other ones I had there. But Galaxy High from Mad Tree is out again, and it's going fast. It's hard to find anywhere, but I've got a 4-pack. I'm supposed to be teaming up with Tanya Mikowski to do a video with her because she got some ordered out to California.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if I can hold out that long. She's got. I'm like, it's not gonna be the freshest. It'll still be good. It just won't be the freshest by the time she gets it. But
yeah, you guys don't want to do a improper review. Improper review would not be great.
Yeah.
Gotta be super fresh. Come on. 3 days old, or it's a drain pour.
But I just uploaded the one that Todd put me on yesterday. The one from Beer to Iris. That was good stuff. The home style. So I want to check out more of their beers. One of the guys that responded on one of the groups on Facebook said he was actually going to try to get the Beer to Iris today. So hopefully he got out there and checked out some stuff.
Have you seen any more of that floating around since
Yeah, we're getting like in a regular place I took you to. They seem to keep getting in different stuff. I have to get some more out there.
Yeah. Nice. You should get some. You should definitely get some.
My basement is like so full. There's so much stuff in there. It's kind of.
I didn't say for you, Rod. I just said you should get some.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more when I go out there. I'm thinking about trying to run to Indiana tomorrow too, to try to do a little beer run because I see I get some 450 North from somewhere. One of the places here they usually get some in. But it goes so fast. That 450 North is like crack out there.
That lollipop was good, Todd, that you sent.
Did you like that one?
Oh yeah, like that one a lot.
It was dank. They did not lie to us.
I should walk into the Indiana store like Dave Chappelle and Tyrone Bigham, like, got any more of that 450 North?
I need to make a run to Indiana and get me some Yingling, baby.
You don't got it in Michigan yet? Oh, Michigan.
Not yet.
They're on the list. They're on the list.
Yo, fair trade. All the Yingling for all the M43. Pretty fair. Pretty fair. Dollar for dollar and somewhere.
One case of Yingling equals a 4-pack of M43.
There you go.
Pretty much.
I really like their summer wheat. That was the best one.
I haven't had their summer wheat for Yingling before.
Oh, that's really good.
Their
Really
black
good.
and tan's pretty solid for.
Yeah, black and tan I like. We get that here now because that's part of their regular line.
I mean, if you're a huge fan of wild saisons, the entire lineup's fantastic.
All credited thanks to the PA Brew News.
I was drinking it at room temperature. That's on you. Even though it's blind taste test, that's on you.
That's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm actually drinking a Brooklyn Pilsner now. You want to start talking Brooklyn?
Yo,
I
probably.
noticed on my bottle they've got the independent label on there. Are they putting those on cans too, or just on bottles?
Oh yeah, good call.
That reminds me, I got to go get mine out of the freezer.
Mine doesn't have the independent label.
So my lager does not have it. Okay, it's
Pilsner doesn't.
but my summer one does right there.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I don't care, Brooklyn, but that's cool.
I see the Brooklyn thing and I always think baseball though because their logo. I do like their logo.
Yep. We have a couple comments before I jump into the Brooklyn. Malt Mustang shows up.
What's up,
And
Malt?
of course, it's going to be malt liquor related. He says, and don't fruit the malt, lest you be sent to malt liquor hell. It's true. Can't be fruiting that malt. It's on them.
Maybe we should do a malt liquor show one night just for the hell of it.
We could. We totally could. Backwoods, Billy Craft Beer Review showing up. Good day, sir. I think he's missed the last couple shows. He says he loves the black chocolate stout from Brooklyn Brewery. Also, Garrett Oliver is a genius. He also says next Saturday is Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. How about a Michelada? Or Michelada.
Yes. Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, May 5th.
I'm not a huge fan of the style.
There's something else May 5th too. Some other drinking holiday now, I think. Outside of Cinco de Mayo.
I don't think you really need one. I mean, just everyone should celebrate.
Not
Right?
usually. I mean,
Not usually.
any day that ends in a Y is a drinking holiday in my book.
And Backwoods says most of their beers are contract brewed. If he's talking about Brooklyn, yes. I mean, they contract brewed at Saranac, Matt FX Brewing.
Some good combination.
Oh, baby, look at that combination, baby. Gonna sting the tongue. Baby, die, you Jezebel. Okay. All right, Brooklyn. It's a brewery that exists. It's out of Brooklyn. All right, what do you guys think about it?
Mine isn't the pale ale. It's the East India Pale Ale.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh. Don't forget the East India.
Yeah, yo, that's okay.
7%, baby.
See how you like it, Eric. We'll see how you like it.
I did almost get the Defender IPA tonight. I do like that one from Brooklyn.
I was gonna get the Bel Air Sour. I never tried it. It was sitting there. I was like, yo, maybe. And then I was like, nah, I'm good.
Too risky.
I was like, I'll just, go with the lager and the summer ale and just chill.
I think she's a little flat because there's no head.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Is there chunks in there? Is that suspended anime?
What's going on in there?
Yo.
Oh yeah, there's a hell of a lot of chunks in here. Whoa.
How old is
Yeah,
how old? Not that it matters, but it might.
It might.
2009.
Best Buy 2013. What?
Well, I'm driving. Where's it usually at?
On the back, under the neck.
Yeah.
You got to be fucking shitting me, dude.
What's the date?
July 2012.
No.
It says 2012 right here. Can you guys pick it up? I don't know.
Hang on, back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me put on.
Holy shit, dude! All right, so the first thing you probably want to do is take it back to wherever you bought it, man. What the hell? Like, what the hell? This is 2018.
Wow! Whoa!
Yeah, it's
Is it a little rank in there?
Woo! Should I take a swig?
It's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna taste like probably absolute shit, but
Like tasting your socks.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you buy that, Eric?
I bought that. I bought it at a local liquor store.
That's on them.
I can't believe it says 2012.
No, that's usually when you find a 6-year-old aged beer, or like maybe 7, because the Best Buy is July of 2012, could have been produced in late 2011. Usually when you see that, you're like, score, because it might be like an Imperial Stout or a Belgian Quad or something that you're like, they've done all of the work for me. In this case, you might want to fight somebody, maybe the owner of the liquor store, whatever. But I'd be going back and saying, this is an IPA. And even though I don't need it the freshest, maybe in the last 5 years, just maybe in the last 5 years would be nice, because that's ridiculous.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's just incredible. That's just like, wow. That's 6 years, dog.
I know I could, but when I see it, I'm like, well, that's the only Brooklyn beer here, so I might as well get it.
You're like, oh, now you know why.
Now I know why.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally doesn't have the independent label on it.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
That's terrible.
WTF.
Yeah. What'd you pay for that, for a 6-pack?
Do I got to disclose that?
Oh,
Yeah, if it's over $10, you should go back and fight the owner of the match.
It's over $10.
Then you need to fight
You can
someone.
go back there and
Like, I don't advocate that, but you need to maybe slap them. I don't know. Do something.
For sure.
But you got a 6-pack. Wow.
Yeah.
I go back and ask for my money back on that. I take that back and show them that bottle.
On the tab it says Brooklyn fail.
It's not Brooklyn's fault, though.
It's not Brooklyn's fault. It's really not.
I mean, I know there's some breweries out there that will like keep in contact with every single account they have to make sure they keep relatively fresh stuff. But when you're as big as Brooklyn is, it's probably almost impossible at this point. That's on the liquor store. If they're going to sell 6+-year-old IPAs, there's no words.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't believe it. Well, didn't you see me pause? I'm like, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I asked you, because you're like, oh, it's flat or whatever. And then I see chunks.
When I saw those chunks, I'm like, that's old beer.
Yeah. And then when I was joking, I was like, oh,
dust on the bottle?
2000.
Oh, yeah, that's real old, man. Holy, that was probably mold in there. That's
The fact that I said 2013 in a joking manner and I went back 5 years. I said 2013 in a joking manner before you even said it, because I was like, there's no way. There's no way this is 2013. I was wrong. It's 2012. That's horrible. Now I don't even want to read about Brooklyn just because
You gotta check the dates.
Okay. Well,
I will be going back and be like, what the fuck, guys?
Here's the thing, though. It has a Best By date on it, so Greg's Beer Reviews, 2 thumbs up. We'll go to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn was established in 2012, and that's when that beer was. No, it was established in 1988 by a guy named Steve Hindy and another fellow named Tom Potter. They ended up, starting the brewery and blah 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 and a lot of other things, and then they decided to create Brooklyn Lager, and that was in 94. And they started brewing it at Matt Brewing Company. And the rest for that beer, as they say, is history. As Billy mentioned in the comments, they do a lot of contract brewing at Matt FX Brewing Company because their Williamsburg, Brooklyn brewery cannot handle the capacity. That's where they do a lot of their small batch and experimental stuff. Garrett Oliver, who we also called the genius, Billy, that is, he's been with Brooklyn since 94. He is the brewmaster there. I don't know if he is anymore, if he's technically I can't see Garrett Oliver still being the Matt, just brewing everything because he does so much.
Right.
He's basically the head spokesperson for the place now. I haven't seen if he still is. I mean, if he still is, that's pretty cool. They actually had an expansion of their Williamsburg, Brooklyn brewery in 2009. And also another note on Garrett Oliver, he has been a judge at the Great American Beer Festival for 11 straight years. Seems like a long time. They also plan to relocate their Utica, New York brewery, which is the Saranac. I don't know if they have their own brewery. I tried to look up information on this. I can't tell if it's just straight Saranac or if it's partly them too. But on Wikipedia here, which again, it's Wikipedia, who knows? It says they plan to relocate their main brewery in Utica, New York, to a $70 million, 200,000 square foot facility on Staten Island. I don't know if that's still in play because, again, on their website, they don't really mention too much about that. Right. But more, that's pretty much for the history of Brooklyn. There's a lot. One thing with these little things I want to do now is not go crazy on the history because a lot of times you sit here 15, 20 minutes. I'd rather get to our opinions. So we'll go right to their beers and then on to our opinions. So Brooklyn Brewery, most people out there know about them, right? So I'm pretty sure Brooklyn's in so many countries. They contract brew them all over the world. I think they contract brew in Australia, some of their beer. Brooklyn Lager, I think, was contract brewed in Australia. Mm-hmm. They started contract brewing in Australia. They used to actually bring it in from the States. And when they started contracted brewing in Australia, people were like, wow, this tastes different. Well, that's because it was traveling, thousands of miles in different, climates and everything. So the time that the Brooklyn Lager from the States got there, it went through a lot and it didn't really taste like it was intended. So when they started contracting brewing in Australia, people are like, what does this taste way different? Well, it tastes like it should now. I thought that was a little cool nugget because you just get a little bit of nugget of information how beer traveling through different temperatures and all different kinds of ways can affect the beer. And Australia figured that out real quick. Anyway, they're regular perennial beers. They're too good to call them year round. Perennial beers. Brooklyn Lager, their Bel Air Sour, their Defender IPA, their Sriracha Ace Saison, their Pilsner, their East IPA, usually not 6 years old when you get that. And
Brooklyn.
And let me see that label for a second. Hold that back up. Yeah, so here's the first little nugget of information I can give you about that beer. The label has changed in the last 6 years. Now the label just says East. It says Brooklyn at the top in the circle. At the bottom says East IPA. It no longer says India Pale Ale on it, just IPA. So that's a shame. They're also their American Ale, their Scorcher IPA, their Brown Ale, their Blast Double IPA, their Half Ale, which there's Hoppy Session Saison at 3.4, which I've had before, and pretty cool. You don't see too many sub 4% beers in the U.S. Naranjito Orange Peel Pale Ale. They have a Brooklyn box set with a lot of their regulars. The Stonewall Inn Wit, their Shackmeister, and their Best Bitter. Their seasonals are their Winter Lager, the Black Chocolate Stout that Todd is drinking tonight, their Oktoberfest, their Post Road Pumpkin Ale, the Summer Ale, which I'm drinking, and they're insulated dark lager. And then they're big bottles. I'm not going to go through them. They have a bunch of different saisons and Belgian-inspired beers and stuff that are seemingly hit and miss depending on where you get it. Same thing with like their Chaos for Creek and their intensified coffee porter. The Hand and Seal, I will note on here that it's a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. It was pretty fantastic when it was released like 3-4 years ago. Ever see the Hand and Seal from Brooklyn? Buy it. It was like $25 for $7.50. It was pretty fantastic. And that's pretty much it. I forgot who said it earlier. Was it Todd who said he struggled to find many Brooklyn offerings in your area? Todd, that was you, right?
Yeah, very many. Yeah, we're not getting very many of them right now.
I feel like that's an issue, and I'd be curious if anyone in the comments, but also Rod and
I can only find the Brooklyn Lager other than this old piece of shit here.
We're going to forget about that beer. You're going to want to forget about it. Maybe not the $11 you spent or whatever, but.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, I think they're actually shrinking on some of their stuff here with us. There's definitely a smaller amount of them when I got the beer tonight. But it could be falling back a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll go to the comments and then we'll get into our, I guess, experiences with Brooklyn. We have, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of people here. Okay. Go back to on the 10th, he said, the only Brooklyn beer I've had is the sour, the Bel Air sour. How was it, Chris? I don't remember you mentioned it. You probably posted on tap, but I don't remember off the top of the dome piece. Billy says, definitely take it back. Also call Brooklyn Brewery. Make them aware of the fact that the distribution company is not doing its job or at the liquor store. And then he all capitalizes, by law, you are able to get a refund. And you should, because that's ridiculous. And then Chris says, are all 6 that old? I'd be curious to know if all 6 in the 6-pack are all from the same batch. Imagine if there was like a 2015 and 2012 and then a 2014. It's just like a mixed pack.
From the I don't give a F pack.
Yeah. Give me my fucking money back.
Eric, we know you're upset. We're going to have to ask you to settle down, though.
I'll just have some more M43, all right?
Yeah, you should. That's a much better beer. Even when that's fresh, it's a much better beer. And then Jason Voorhees says, redneck fail.
No, that's on me, Phil, really, for not paying attention to the... It is on me because for me not paying attention to what
it's about like 0.5% on you and about 99.5% on the distribution company / the liquor store. To have a 6-year-old IPA on your shelves, you should just, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is for sure. Billy says Samuel Adams has yanked their beer from distribution companies for stuff like that. Yeah, I've heard of Stone doing that and Firestone Walker.
What gives them a bad name for their beers when they have some old stuff people are drinking?
Well, it's, I mean, okay, so taking the bubble we are, which is beer tube, a lot of people will buy beers. I mean, let's say, okay, Eric bought this, and let's say he never looked at the bottling date.
This is actually my first Brooklyn beer, by the way.
Yeah, and okay, so let's say you never looked at the bottling date, and you drank it and you reviewed it. First impressions would be like, this is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink this if this is what Brooklyn's all about. I mean, you'd probably give them another shot, but like first impressions mean a whole lot.
It would not be very, very good.
No, but now you take it into context. It's a 6-year-old IPA.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Chris also says maybe the 6-pack is a yearly vintage collection. If that's the case, then that is on Brooklyn. No. Foamy Head 13 says that's on
the
you
Cellar series
for not reading the date. Like
It is.
I still say it's only partly on Eric. Just for the simple fact that, yeah, you should read the dates when you're buying an IPA, but the fact that a 2012 is sitting on a shelf at any liquor store for a hop forward product, that's just poorly ran by the liquor store. Whoever the manager is there, they should hold most of the blame. That's unreal. And then Billy has 3 responses. He says, actually, some distribution companies will rotate old stock from liquor stores that have a higher end clientele to either college areas or sketchy areas that discount beers, which is not allowed. Getting in those sketchy areas again, Eric? Is that what we're looking at?
This one you could consider sketchy.
Yeah, they'll discount beers here.
Mm-hmm.
When they're older.
Breweries refund or take back beer that
older, mind you, just older.
Oh.
Nah, I've never seen them 6 years older, just older. Like, like this was Best Buy. January of 2018. We're sitting in April.
Yeah, I've seen even IPAs that are close to a year old or maybe like 9 months, but never to that extent.
But they're like, dude, you're paying $1 for that beer. You're like,
yeah,
good point. Touche.
But still, if I'm paying $1 for, I guess it's on the eye of the beholder. If your end goal is to just get hammered as it has alcohol, sure. But if you want to go home and enjoy a 6-pack and just want something that tastes good,
yeah.
He also says breweries refund or take back beer that's old from distribution companies. Liquor store owner, managers, and sales reps from distribution companies are supposed to get the old stock out. They're supposed to, for sure. And he says breweries pay for old beer to the distribution company. The distribution company is supposed to replace old with new and drain pour the old stock. However, see above, some distributors resell old beer. Yeah, it's mostly the distributors. It's partly the liquor stores, and it's. I mean, yes, as a consumer, you should, like, if I go and buy an IPA, and this is just from, experience of checking stuff. If I go buy any kind of IPA now, the first thing I do is I look at the date on the can of the bottle. And if it doesn't have one, and I don't know if it just came in and it doesn't have a date, I don't care, because I know it's going to most likely be fresh if it's a new release or something. But most of the time, if I can't tell, I just put it back. And I don't want to chance it. I don't want to drink a 5-month-old IPA if I don't want to. This isn't the UK like 500 years ago. It's kind of different now. There's certain things you expect, so it's a bit different. So live and learn, Eric. But also, I'd go back to the liquor store and like Billy said, I'd call Brooklyn and I would, first of all, I don't know if I'd call Brooklyn. I'd either email them or maybe contact them on social media and say, hey, look, there's a liquor store in my area. They just sold me a 2012 or Best Buy July 2012 East India IPA, and I'm not happy about it and whatever. And I'm sure they'll refund you. Certainly, maybe contact the liquor store, the distribution company in the area, and hopefully take care of things. Because I mean, as bad as that you had to pay, whatever you did, $10, $11, $12 for that 6-pack. I'm sure there's more on the shelves, and maybe other people will come in and do the same thing, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll probably reach out to them here probably tomorrow. See what they say.
You want to buy old milk? Why would you buy old beer?
Yeah.
Unless it properly ages like a sweet barley wine.
I like that sourness, baby.
Hey man, I like this Imperial Stout, baby, but I wish it was brewed in 2001.
We'll see if your blood is as red as mine.
Oh. All right, so I guess personal experience. So quickly for us, your first experience with the beer, and your first impressions of the beer when you first had it. What was the first beer you drank? We'll start with Todd.
Mine was, I believe, either one of their pumpkin beers, or the post road, whatever it was called.
That was the pumpkin,
one of our local, my main go-to liquor store here that carries probably the best selection of anybody. Like a pumpkin beer tasting, then they have like a winter tasting, random seasonal beer tasting. So that was probably my first experience with the lager. But we don't really get he currently only carries. He's got 2 stores. Both stores had the black chocolate stout, and one store carried the citrus IPA, and the other one was carrying the 12-pack cans of the so that was my only. I picked up just one bottle of the black chocolate stout. So I honestly haven't had a lot of. I had a couple of the local. I had the local 1 and 2, which is a strong ale and a golden ale, which my wife picked up in Rod's at Jungle Gems one time. And those are really good, but outside of that, I can't really say that I've been a big fan of theirs, honestly.
All right. Well, I feel like this is going to be for most of us. Eric, you said this is your first Brooklyn beer ever, right?
Yeah.
So we're just going to skip Eric, not because we don't want to listen to, like, if that's the first beer you had and this is happening.
You already know. You already know.
Yeah, it's not. It's Brooklyn is gonna get contacted by Eric, a Lions fan, and he's not.
Well, I'm not gonna badmouth or anything. I'll just say, hey, I just got a 6-year-old beer, and it's your East India Pale Ale, and I'm not happy. Just not gonna say not happy, but I'll word it. I'm really not looking for a freebie or anything. Really, it's
should be though.
I just really all I want is my money back. That's really all I want.
Well, I'm sure they'll refund you and probably send you some goodies or something. That's what most good customer service will do at a good brewery. All right, so Rod, how about you? Your first impressions and what was the first beer you ever had?
Not
a 6-year-old beer, hopefully.
I don't think so.
Beer. The first beer I had from them, apparently looking at my Untapped here, was the Blonde Ale, which I was not really a huge fan of. So I'm getting like a 2.5 out of 5 when I had that one. It was okay, but it was weak. I mean, I'm not a huge blonde ale person. Again, blonde ales to me are like the stepping stones for people going from adjunct into craft beer. So if you like adjuncts, a lot of times you like the blonde ale. I'm not a huge adjunct person, so obviously the blonde ale didn't play as strong to me. But I came back and I tried other beers with them, and overall, as an impression of them, I think they're pretty solid. I think they put a pretty good product out there for the most part. There hasn't been crushing disappointments. There's been a few that haven't been as great, but there's also been some that have been great. The best I have from them that I actually like is their quad racer tops was like one I rated pretty highly. That was a Belgian quad they had done. They did a real good job with that one. So it's hit and miss. They're like we were talking about some of the other breweries over the last few weeks. They're a decent enough get on base type hitter. Occasionally they may hit one out of the park for you, like the Defender IPA. I like that one. I like a couple of their other beers, but most of the time, stand-up double type player.
I like
that. Why get baseball analogies?
You always do the baseball analogies every single time, and I love it. But it's still weird, but I love it. I love it. Don't ever stop. The first beer I ever had was, I think, the Brooklyn Lager as well. And I don't think my opinion has changed in like the last 8 years. It's still Brooklyn Lager. I think Rod and I pretty much summed it up to a T earlier. I'm drinking it. That's about it. I'm drinking it. It's nothing wrong with it. Inoffensive. It's all right. My first impressions of Brooklyn were, I don't want to say negative, but I never really cared for most of their core offerings. Like if you go down the list of their perennials, because they're not year rounds, but they're perennials, they were all just very standard. Like, here's our Pilsner, here's our lager, here's whatever style. It was always something that was very common. Mm-hmm. They did them relatively well. And if you were to rate them at BJCP, Billy, I think a lot of them would probably hit the nail on the head or very close and kind of what you're looking for. But they were styles that as a beer drinker myself, I don't really gravitate towards, or something that I don't want to have in my fridge too often. So it's more of a it's me, not you type of situation. But as I got into some of their bigger beers and some of their special releases, they actually impressed me quite a bit. So we will segue right into the final thing, is overall impressions of the brewery. What is your overall impressions now after drinking them over the years, and final score? And I'll start this time so I can start this time. I don't know. Eric's probably going to be NA, incomplete. But for me, if I had to base Brooklyn off of their core and say seasonal beers, I'd probably 3.5. Like they would be lower for me. But I'd push them into the 3.5, 3.75 range just because of their some of their bigger beers I've had, like their Hand and Seal, which I mentioned earlier, their barrel aged barley wine. One of the best barrel aged barley wines I've ever had, especially from a bigger craft brewery. I also had their K for Creek, which I thought was an awesome take on a creek, but it was barrel aged, a lot of things going on. Also, some of their beers, and this is not a dig at you, Eric, so don't take this the wrong way. Some of their like seasonal and specialty releases, they age very well. For instance, the beer Todd has, the Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout, and their Monsters Ale, which was, I think, their base English barley wine. I had a 2012 version of that like 2 or 3 years ago, so it was like 3 or 4 years old. Fantastic, and you could buy 4-packs, I think, of that for like $10. Same thing with a Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout. That beer ages phenomenally well. So I just said phenomenally well. Jesus. But yeah, so I would bump them into like I'm going to go a solid 3.5 just because I think some of their base stuff for me takes it down a notch. But they're a solid brewery, and I think they're a great brewery if you are getting into craft beer and you want to check out a plethora amount of styles.
A plethora, baby.
Baby, if you want to take, if you want a plethora fly, baby, I'm trying to do nothing rule, but it's not happening. But if you want to try a bunch of different styles at once, and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg, you can go to your local shop, assuming you get Brooklyn, and most people do, and you can go pick out 4 to 6 beers of the lager, of like the summer. That's just a pale ale, and a couple of their other beers that are good. They're better than entry level beers within those styles, but they're nothing mind blowing, and you'll be fine. And I think that's where their kind of base stuff falls for me. But I do think their specialty and some of their seasonal releases are damn good. So that would be my recommendation to anybody that wants to try out Brooklyn or haven't had a go. Like for Eric, for example, check out some of their specialties, check out some of their seasonals. Definitely try the Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout. Like that's another beer. I think a 4-pack's like $10. The Monsters Ale, they stopped brewing it, though, I believe. So I don't think you can get that one anymore. But yeah, so 3.5 for me on Brooklyn. They're solid. How about you, Rod?
I think, like I mentioned earlier, they're a solid brewery. They do occasionally, they'll smack a home run out there. So, I had like 16 of their beers. Only 5 of them I've had less than a 3.5 on a rating. Now, of those 5, 2 of them were like 2.5s, the Dry Irish Stout and the Blonde Ale. The Fiat Lux was a 3, the Pilsner a 3, and the Oktoberfest was a 3.25. But, it's 3.5 up. And then I did like enough that I had the Quad Racer tops. That was actually one that I put out there as a 5. I thought it was a nice rendition of a Belgian ale. I thought the Black Chocolate Stout was a 4.5. I thought Sriracha 8's 4.5. Brooklyn Local option. Local 2 was a 4. So they've had some pretty decent ones. I think for me, as far as a score, they don't have enough of the home runs. So I want to say I would put them in like the 4 type player, the 4 type level. But I think they're kind of like that 3.9. I think they have enough to get just about there. I think they have enough of a base core, but then they have a few that stretch it out a little bit further than that. That puts them up as a nice performer. So I would actually drop them to a 3.9 as far as what I would look at.
Yo, where do you get that quarter band, like 3.5, 3.75?
They're between a 3.75 and a 4.
I mean, you're just confusing the viewers. You're just confusing them now.
I can't. Basically, for me, it's hard for me to say a 4.
Yeah, I got you. So as close as you can get to 4 without like really.
Yeah,
there.
They're the warning track.
Yeah, that's on them. They should be a 4, but they're not. How about you, Todd?
Yeah, I haven't really had enough experience with them. I'm kind of like you guys. Some of the base stuff is just kind of base. Had a couple this Black Chocolate Stout tonight.
He cut out again, Todd. The Black Chocolate Stout? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, the Black Chocolate. The Black Chocolate Stout. This is the first time I've had it. You're so not able to hear me.
I feel like Charlie Brown getting a homework assignment. What is going on?
You came in fine, and about 5 seconds later was like, "What? Where's Todd? Is he talking?" I don't think I can hear him.
I don't know.
You were saying the Black Chocolate Stout, but you cut out.
Yeah.
Now
can
we
you hear me?
Yep.
Nope.
Black Chocolate Stout was a good pickup. I like that one. A good Russian Imperial Stout. It's the first time I've actually tried it. I would buy that one again. For the most part, like you guys are saying, their base stuff is just kind of basic. I haven't had enough of them. We don't really get a lot of them here, so I haven't had a wide range of either pumpkin fall beers. The local one in Belgian Strong and the Belgian Golden Ale was pretty good. I think I gave those like a 4 on Untapped. I'd probably put them in about a 3.5, only just because I haven't had a lot of the specialty stuff like you guys have had. So just mostly the base stuff and a few of their specialties. You know, they ain't blowing my socks off by any means, and I don't really search them out when when I'm out looking for stuff. But I also don't get a big supply of them here, so.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much they are what they are. They are a solid brewery, and they make some good stuff, but they make some stinkers. Probably again one of the lower rated breweries we've had on the channel, and that wasn't surprising when we talked about doing it. I knew that's where they're going to land for me in like the 3.5 range. It's they're solid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I do think it's one of those breweries though. A lot of their basic stuff is kind of falling behind the times, and they're not keeping up with a lot of the other breweries. You don't see a lot of like different offerings, like that Bel Air sour finally coming out. I was like, oh, okay, they're going for the sour drinkers, and I don't know. I just don't ever think about Brooklyn releasing sours. I just don't. It's kind of weird for me, but I feel like it's like the classic craft brewery that's been around for 25, 30 years, and they make what they make, and some of the stuff they make is good, but they're kind of falling behind the times a bit. But Garrett Oliver is awesome. That's all I know. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I think you can feel some of it being dated when you're drinking some of their beers. But
like drinking the Brooklyn Lager, I think if I would have drank that lager 20 plus years ago, I'm sure, considering what was out at the time, was probably like, wow, this is tasty.
And the one thing, like, with the lager, like the Pilsner I have here, there's one out back, but it's kind of like I could see myself, drinking this and eating like a pepperoni pizza.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like a beer drinker's beer.
Yeah.
Beer to just like sit down and settle into and have to, wonder about anything or whatever. You just want to have a nice beer. You can enjoy these very easily.
And that's kind of like I was saying earlier is, their Pilsner and their Brooklyn Lager and even like the summer pale ale I'm drinking. There's a time and place for every beer, and that would be the time and place to pair with like a food that you're having, a dinner, a pizza or whatever, a hot dog, or a burger or something. It would go well with it. And
Philly cheesesteak.
I'm fat. I'm hungry. Come on, Rob. Come on. No, but that's kind of what they are. But they prove they can make. The thing is they've proven they can make good beers with a lot of their seasonals and specialty releases. So I would just like to see more of that personally. But again, my opinion is my own, and there's a lot of people out there that clearly buy this beer and a lot of it, so it sells, and they must love it. So, or kudos to them for enjoying it.
Well, I think you hit an interesting point there, because then you get some of their stuff that's not their regular. Like when I had the Quad Racer top, I'm like, well, you guys can do this. Why are you messing around with this? Or if I have like the Brooklyn Defender IPA, like why are you messing with the other ones? I mean, so you have some of their different things they do, but I think, I don't know, some breweries just have that situation. It's kind of like some can be too much where you don't ever get used to it. Like for instance, like Braxton Labs, they're doing a 30 tapping on Saturday, 30 tapping of all New England IPA type stuff. So introducing like 4 different new, I was like, really? Okay, here's my money. Take it. So, but you really don't get to build up any type of fondness for any type of beer because they're always constantly reinvent. But they're labs, so you expect them to kind of reinvent themselves. Versus if you went to Braxton Brewery where they have like their consistent products.
Well, that's a thing too. Like a Brooklyn brewery, the lager probably pays the vast majority of their bills.
Yeah,
it probably sells the most out of any of their beers, or is up there, and is a staple and put them on the map. So I'm sure thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people will drink this beer. And, like I said, for a craft lager, it's damn solid. Nothing wrong with it. And to each their own. Like for every person out there like myself or like us that we want to see creativity and innovation and variety, there's a lot of people out there that just want to go to the store and they like 1 or 2 styles. and they stick with certain beers or stick with certain styles, and they buy those beers.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
I mean, for me in my journey, I'm trying to find different beers all the time. So, it's kind of like seeing what other breweries come up with and stuff. But yeah, but some people do like to have that regular routine. It's like you go around, you stand at a store or something for a while, you see the same people come in, they get their 6-pack of Bud or 6-pack of Pabst or 6-pack of Goose Isle, whatever it may be. They just want that desired taste each time. And
beer tubing is a super, super niche thing. I mean, craft beer is niche already, but like you talk about people who drink basically different beers every time they're drinking beer for the most part because you're reviewing and you're posting videos and stuff. That's not the normal craft beer drinker. The normal craft beer drinker has a certain amount of favorites. Yeah, they'll try different stuff, but they're like, I have this beer in my fridge all the time. I buy it by the 12-pack. I buy it by the case. And me, I don't think I've ever bought a craft beer by the case. I never have. I bought 12-pack. Well, you have because you got them for fucking -3 cents or whatever. But normal people who have to pay normal prices for the products, like I drink too much different beer to even justify buying a 12-pack a lot of times. 6-packs are like the extent that I go to, and even then it's difficult because of the sheer amount of new beers showing up on a weekly basis at the bottle shops. It's like I went to my local bottle shop twice in the last 2 days and spent about 9 times as much as Eric did on that 6-pack. Got about 20 different beers, and I never had any of them before, and they're all new, and it's in 1 week.
Yeah.
That's just how it is now.
And that's how it is when you're like doing a lot of the beer tubing that I find, at least for me as well, that I go and I look for the individual bottles. I don't usually buy the 6-pack and stuff because I don't want to drink all 6 of them. I'll get the independent ones that kind of stick out there. Unless it's something that I've felt that fun. Like I mentioned last year when Stone Mocha IPA comes out, yeah, I grab a 6-pack of that because I really like that beer, how it comes together. But the majority of stuff, I'll buy the individual bottles. If you went to my beer cellar, everything is pretty much individualized unless I got like a 6-pack from a road trip somewhere like that and everything. But most of the time it's like individual type bottles I have in there.
Yep, same here. Not being a beer tuber now, finally, right? No, I was even like that beforehand. The comments, I'll read them real quick because we neglect them. Not because there really weren't any while we were talking about Brooklyn. Billy mentioned to take a picture with a cell phone, both what you have and what the liquor store has, talking to Eric. Tim's Brew shows up and says, cheers. Hello.
Cheers.
Hello, yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Billy says, chocolate cake with the black chocolate stout from Brooklyn Brewery. Yeah, no, I bet you that one.
That would work.
Bet you that would. Then he says, craft beer is only 13% of all beer sales, so appealing to mass market is needed for bigger craft breweries. And yeah, I mean, I always like that when a craft brewery has a craft lager or a nice pilsner, something that they can bring over the macro crowd, not even to win them over, but let's say you're going after work and having some drinks with your coworkers, or you're hanging out with friends that like craft beer. Right. You don't want to exclude someone who doesn't like craft beer, doesn't know about it. So if you go to a brewery or you're going to a craft beer bar or something, it's always nice to have something that is reminiscent of an American adjunct lager in some respects. So a pilsner, yes, it's a step up, but it's also something that I think a lot of macro drinkers could handle to an extent, as long as it's not like a crazy, mosaic and citra dry hopped pilsner with freaking. It's just like, settle down, just make a nice, just regular pilsner, please. I have to be crazy. So I think more breweries should do it, and in my area, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys. That you go to almost any brewery around here, they have something that appeases the macro drinkers.
Yeah, we get some of the stuff like. I've had people here like Todd knows Rheingeist, and I've had people that are macro drinkers that I've gotten switched over just by using Cougar, which is their blonde ale. It's easy for them to make an adjustment.
Yeah, Rheingeist seems like they make good beer. I've only had a couple of theirs. Billy says most craft beer drinkers will typically only buy a 6-pack at a time. See Beverage Magazine. Additionally, most craft beer drinkers will also drink macrobreweries beers. Yeah, a lot of them do. I mean, I just bought a 6-pack of Jenny Cream Ale. Now, granted,
I'd never really buy macro though.
No, I mean, but But he says he would drink. I will drink it. Like I don't. If I'm somewhere and they have it, I'll drink it. I don't want to most of the time.
Yeah, but it's like like if I'm in a Fridays or something. Well, actually, our Fridays are craft beer now. So
most places do though.
Yeah, but
Fridays and Buffalo Wild Wings and Applebee's and all of them actually have a decent craft selection.
Yeah, but there's been times I've been there where it's just been macro, and I just say, well, I'll just get either liquor or I won't drink anything. I've gotten that point. I don't want to spend money on beer I don't like. So
yeah, well, I'm not spending. No, I meant like if I go to a party or I'm at a barbecue or something, like I won't turn down a beer if someone offers it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for like most of the time. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, there's nothing. But for me, like I'm past that. Like I'm not too good to drink macro. It's just I spend my money on stuff I enjoy to drinking, and to each their own. I mean, it's what you want to drink, right? It doesn't matter. He also says only a few beer Nazis. I don't know what he's referencing. Maybe there's only a certain amount of beer Nazis out there. He says new release beers are used to get new drinkers to try that brewery's beer at a tasting festival or tap house or bar with hopes of that person getting more of their other beer. Most of the time, and most breweries do that, but there are some that all they do is release different beers. Like there's Grimm Artisanal Ales and Brooklyn, they contract brew, but they're very popular here. They like almost never release the same beers. It's always a new beer all the time. And a lot of these popular New England style producers like Other Half and
that's what I say about Braxton Labs. They're the same way.
Yeah, Braxton. You're talking about there's a lot of breweries that are just like, here's our New England style IPA, and they release it once a week or once every couple of weeks, and if they bring back one of those beers, it's like, oh, whoa, Jesus, like thank you, because I love this beer, and you release it once a year. Yeah, it's crazy. He says he also likes Genesee. Nothing wrong with a macro beer. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with drinking what you want to drink. And that's what so many people have difficulties with in life. It's like when it comes to craft beer in general, it's like criticizing or critiquing what people enjoy in life. Craft beer is no different than anything else in life. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. You don't run up to someone and slap a slice of Pizza Hut out of their hand because you feel it's inferior pizza. If they want to eat Pizza Hut, eat all the Pizza Hut. If you don't like Pizza Hut, it's not hurting you. Just let them enjoy their Pizza Hut.
I like Pizza Hut.
I mean, yeah, it's just one of the things. It's like this.
That's why I say garbage.
Papa John's. We talking about Papa John's? I heard garbage somewhere.
Don't get on the 10-star though, Papa John's. He loves.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things where just because it's beer, it's not any different than anything else in life, any other hobby you like, any other food or drink. It's whatever you enjoy as an individual, you enjoy it. And if someone tells you you're wrong, ignore them because you're not. You like what you like.
Yeah, I mean, and I joke about macro, but I don't really review macros as much on the channel because I did a few. There's some old reviews you can go there and look at, and people would notice like, you're not really into this. Why do you review this one? It's like, well, it was just one of the beers that was out there, but why do I review them? So I don't review them anymore. It's like they don't really give me enough enjoyment to really sit there and want to do a review on it.
Yeah, you honestly will see maybe over time a handful of macro reviews from me, and it's the same thing. I'm doing a whole Jenny week on my channel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be this week or the next, but I'm gonna do Jenny Cream Ale, and then I'm gonna do the 3 variants they have, and then I'm gonna do one beer from their brew house in addition. And I'm having fun with it because I like Jenny Cream Ale. I thought the variant of the cream ale would be cool to review and try, and whatever. That'll be one of the few times you'll see me review like a product from an actual macro place. But there's a lot of people out there that just review mostly macro with some craft beer thrown in. Whatever, do what you like, man. Billy also says that beer Nazi equals beer snob extreme. Yeah, and there's still a lot of them out there. I never understood it. Like telling people
Facebook groups a lot.
Yeah, it's like, man, telling people that you're an idiot because you drink this beer and that what I drink superior, so you're a piece of shit and so on. It's like, no, it's just a beverage with alcohol in it, and it doesn't make you any better than me. So,
See, dude, you're wearing socks with sandals right now. Come on.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with if you want to wear socks and sandals. Just
Nothing
can't-
against socks and
Wait,
sandals.
What's wrong with that?
yeah, you want to wear socks and sandals, that's cool, but don't be berating someone because they're drinking a Coors Light when you're wearing socks and sandals. It's all the same, man. And
I'm
then
just upset some socks and sandals viewers probably.
yeah. Probably Ewart just showed up.
Yeah.
And I guarantee he wears socks and sandals because he's old as hell. Tim's Brews also says craft beer is going to the death of itself. I wouldn't say necessarily the death of itself, but it's going to cave in on itself a little bit over time, and you already can see cracks of it.
Well, that's with anything. Now you're going to have saturation point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's already happening. Billy also says could be Tim more so the beer snobs and brewing companies that raising prices to see if they can get it. Yeah, that's one thing that I honestly have noticed, especially over the last couple of years. It's getting increasingly difficult to show up at local bottle shops and pay $4.50 for like whatever the new can release is for a pounder can, because you're telling me that and that 4-pack is like $20.
Yeah,
and it seems every beer. Like I bought, like I said, I bought almost $90 for the store the last couple of days, and at least half the cans I bought were like $4. At least $4. And it's like, come on, man. Like your stuff's probably not that good. But they see other breweries charging and they're like, well, we can do it, right? Yeah. I mean, but I don't know how sustainable that is if your stuff isn't as good as theirs.
Yeah, speaking of which, I just saw this at one of the stores. I don't know if you've ever seen this beer or not, but Diesel Punk from World Brews out in New York. One of the freaking, I don't say one of the worst craft beers I have, but it's definitely down that lower level. Initially, it used to get sold like at Kroger's where I usually see it. Came out initially, I think it was like $5.99. Now it's $9.99 a 6-pack. And it's like, are you kidding me? For that beer that you're charging versus everybody else,
Yeah.
that beer is nowhere near what it should be for $9.99.
Nope.
When they got it on the shelf there.
No, I agree. And a lot of places are trying to run with it. And it's hopefully the consumer's smarten up. But I mean, if you like a beer enough, you'll get away with it to a point. But then, once you start paying like $3-4 more of a 6-pack, wait, wasn't this $6 like 2 months ago? Why is it $9? What happened? Like nothing happened, right? He also says this week and next week on my channel is Mexican lager beers. I'll make a lot of reviews. Sweet, I'll check it out backwards. I've subbed to you. I've subbed to a lot of people because they check out my videos and they're like, yeah, sub me back, and I subbed you. And then I'm like, holy shit, I got 7,000 people in my sub list. I can't watch all these videos, so I try to pick and choose. So
I think Billy just did a Chelada video, I believe. I had to check that out still.
Yeah, that's what I say. Michelada. I'm like saying Michelada, okay? Because I'm ignorant. Ewart shows up. I believe that's, I don't know what the hell emoji that is. Is that a rose? He says Bills have had a decent draft thus far. He's talking about the NFL. I was watching it on my phone before he showed up. They traded the Bills here are basically Bills and Sabres in Western New York. They're crazy. So they were wondering who they're going to draft as a quarterback, and ended up picking Josh Allen out of Wyoming. And he was supposed to be like one of the top 2 picks, and then he came out saying a lot of racist stuff. Yeah.
It's a racist one.
Yeah, and now he's in Buffalo. I don't know how that's going to work. But all like 80% of Bills fans didn't want to draft him. They wanted either Josh Rosen, Mayfield, or it was Denaro. Those are like the time they all.
Yeah,
like so it was Rosen and Allen, and they picked Allen. But he also says no socks and sandals ever. Don't lie to us, Ewart. You're wearing socks and sandals right now. You know it.
When I say socks and sandals, understand, I'm not like people wear the socks and the Nike sandals. That's one thing. I'm talking about the socks and like the Birkenstock type sandals.
Yeah. Well, like the sock, like knee-high socks.
Yeah, they're up to the knee.
Yeah, they're like, are you going to play on an NBA team, or are you just going to get your paper? What is happening?
You're going to roll that sock down all the way up to your knee high, huh?
Yeah. Also, Ewart is Ewart, so no one cares. Billy says, LOL. 2 days ago, every gas station in Delmarva East Shore, $2.75 a gallon. How is that possible? The fix is in. Yeah, that's how the gas is going. I saw on Facebook.
Guess what? Gas the price will start creeping up because Memorial Day gets here.
Yeah, and I know you have Dan Booze Review on your Facebook, and he's posting how much it was for a liter in Canada, and how it like how it just kept on just bouncing around. And he's like, I don't know what's happening. I'm like, oh, you're Canada. No one knows.
They do it every year for vacation season. As you get into the summer, people start to travel.
It's like, oh, what, a barrel's 27 cents? Let's charge $7 a gallon. It's like, what? How does this even work? Why aren't you going on vacation? Yeah.
It's going to be like Mad Max gas stations.
What's that, Tom?
We're up to $2.99 a gallon here.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it seems it's like $2.89 here, Todd.
Yeah, it was like $2.80 here. It's expensive. It's expensive. Yeah. Not quite as expensive as craft beer yet, but it's expensive. Ewart says, I'm done with beer. Too expensive. I'm going to all cognac from now on. No, you're not, Ewart. Don't even try.
I think Ewart's waiting for Zima to come back out again.
Oh, he's all about that Zima.
I'm going to Zima.
Billy says distribution companies have said they do this because raise prices to see if they can get it. Also, some consumers are idiots and fall for this. A lot of consumers are idiots and they fall for it. I mean, hey, put it this way. It's if the demand is out there and people are paying it, they're going to charge it.
Under capitalism.
Yep. Once people stop paying it and it sits on shelves, then you'll see distributors and breweries be like, yeah, maybe we should have went to $20 a 4-pack. Maybe you should knock it down to like 16 again. It's gonna take a while though, because so many people are used to paying the. Again, you see a lot of people, they'll do a New England style beer review and they'll be like, oh, how much is it a 4-pack? Oh, it's anywhere between 14 and 20. That's the going rate. That's a $6 discrepancy though.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of money. That's a big difference.
Like here, Sierra Nevada brought their Hazy Little Thing IPA. It's still freaking $7.99 for a 6-pack.
Who's that? The Sierra Nevada?
Yeah, Sierra Nevada, or the Hot Bullet.
Yeah. No.
And so you're looking at these things. Well, fuck it. If you're going to be a regular drinker just to drink something, you're like, why just drink this?
Yep.
I don't need to go pick up the other one there.
I agree. He also says 13 cents a gallon jump in one day, referring to the gas price. He says actually the oil companies are paid by brokerage firms for options on future contracts. And then Paul, PA Brew News, good friend of us, well, of some of us, he says 99% of consumers are idiots. Yes, and Paul's included in that 99%. He knows it. Tim's Brew says, I'm going to grow apples. Yeah.
Cider.
Yeah, cider, hard cider indeed. And then Billy continues with the oil companies. So they do not pay more for oil if it raises its hence option contract. And then Paul says, grown all at those apples. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
What?
None. Grown all at those apples.
Okay.
We're gonna need you to. Paul, are you at work? Let's say you're not at work. Because you're at work, I don't know what you're doing.
Paul was it a natty ice tonight?
and then Billy says, Tim, what's grown apples? I think Tim meant he was going to grow apples, and he put the accidental N on it. I don't know for sure. I'm assuming that's what he did. And then Foamy Head says it's $2.45 to $2.75 a gallon in Texas for gas. Sweet. That's a lot cheap. That's $2.45 would be great.
Yeah. You go to little Kroger cars and knock it down.
If it was 99 cents where it should be, it would be really great.
Maybe Dr. Road would like the 99 cents like it says 1987 all over again, baby. Ric Flair!
That Kroger card in is like you take $1 off per gallon. I'm back in the 90s.
Indeed. But we are all caught up on comments, even though there's a lot of them, and we appreciate them all.
Always love the involvement and everybody getting involved here.
Mm-hmm. I like
Joe.
when. What's up, Joe? Oh my God!
How's that one, Eric?
Cart Horse IPA.
How is that one?
What's that?
How's it taste?
A little bit lighter than the M43, but still good.
Eric, I'm going to say this as a friend, but also as a man that is pissed off. I'm glad that you have a 6-year-old IPA that you paid like $11 for. I'm happy right now. Not really. That's kind of shitty still.
Yeah, $11 on the IPA from 2012.
Yeah. So I don't think Paul is here. So Paul, to clue you in here, Eric has you beat on so-called PA freshness. We did Brooklyn Brewery tonight. Yeah, that's on us. But we did Brooklyn, and Eric has never had a Brooklyn product before. So what he decided to do was go and get a beer, and he ended up getting a 6-pack of their East IPA. And we were all, what? He pours it, and he's like, "Oh, this has no head. There's like no carbonation. It's flat." And I noticed there was chunks in the glass, and Rod's like, "Yeah, is there chunks in that glass?" And then Eric takes it back, "Yeah, there's chunks everywhere." And we asked him, "Well, what is the bottling date on that?" And it was Best Buy, July of 2012. So anything you have ever bought, he's got anything you've ever purchased in PA, I don't think compares to that. I think he has you one upped on that. That is ridiculous. Now it's on him that he went and bought Brooklyn product, kind of like the rest of us. I know you'll say that. No one should be buying Brooklyn, blah, 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 because you're Paul. You like to troll. But it's still ridiculous. He says PA Fresh reaches across the globe. Yeah, no, it was ridiculous to see, and I feel bad for Eric. He wasted money. Doesn't need to waste money. It's stupid.
Yeah, wasting money on beer is never a good thing. Two Roads is launching a beer brew with Sauvignon Blanc grapes. I feel like I'm seeing more wine being introduced to some of the beers now too. There's definitely more blend in place there.
Yeah, I have a brewery here, they're in Syracuse called Empire, and they do a beer called Deep Purple with, is it Concord grapes? And it has a very wine-esque feel to it. I'm gonna actually review it at some point. I don't know when, but it's very interesting to see it. Like, it's basically like a carbonated wine in some aspects. So, hey, it's smart to try to get those wine drinkers, right?
I wonder if I do some more of those. If I do some of those, my wine ranking will go up.
Probably go down, actually. It's like, we don't like our wine tubers to actually consume wine. Maybe beer and or spirits.
Let me go back and look and see if I'm still on that list, actually. Then they put me in the right one for the beer blog. I wonder if I don't know if they have a beer YouTuber ranking. Maybe they'll have a category for beer. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
I'll be last. I'm just gonna say right now, I'm gonna be last.
You're hard on yourself, Eric. You're hard on yourself.
Eric, even though everything you say is true, you're just way too hard on yourself. Why do you think your reviews are terrible?
I just think they are.
Well, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're fine. Jesus Christ, man, settle down. Yo, listen, I'm not saying I make good reviews because I clearly don't. But
Joe, 4-6-18, buddy.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to fuck off real quick. But also, let me finish what I'm gonna say, because it doesn't matter. Right. I was just gonna say there are some really bad beer tubers, like people that don't have any idea what they're talking about, even a little bit, and then they're very snobby. Yeah. There's not a lot. There's some. Okay, there's a handful. You are not anywhere close to that region of the world. Your reviews are fine, and you know what, Eric? Even if you do think they're terrible, you enjoy it. So fuck it. That's what it's all about, man.
Fuck it.
I'm still holding down the 31 spot on the wine.
Holding this split.
Holding your own. You're holding your own.
Right in between Wine Industry Network and Ridge Vineyards. I don't even talk about wine. What are you guys doing?
We're clearly not a wine tuber in any sense whatsoever. So it's amazing that you're on that list. I don't even know what's
I don't even know, but hey, the numbers work out.
Tim came back to clarify his "I'm going to grown apple" comment. He says Crown Royal apple is actually what he meant to say, and he was on his phone silent. So I was wrong. Everyone else was asking about grown apples. It was.
I've heard Crown Royal apple's pretty good.
I have not heard much about it. They did the maple, which I actually had, and I thought it's just too sweet on the finish, like too much of a maple finish. Speaking of maple beers, so you guys did the Decadent Ales, the toasted marshmallow, both you and Todd, right? So my review tomorrow goes up of their French Toast IPA, which is a double IPA with maple syrup and cinnamon.
What did I did? I think I did a double toasted.
You did the double toasted. That's what was. That's what this is. 8.6. It's a double IPA with maple syrup and cinnamon, and it was fucking weird. which is as weird as you expect. I like that they're doing cool stuff like that, like they did the double toasted marshmallow and that. But I didn't know what to even like. I'm drinking. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, where's the IPA at? Oh, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
How much was your toasted? How much was? How much was it for your guys' beer?
For the decadent ones?
Yeah.
$4.40 a can, $4.25 a can, somewhere in that range.
I can?
Yeah, it was a 16 ounce. Yeah.
Okay.
What was yours?
Mine's actually been like $6.99.
Holy shit! What?
The double toasted marshmallow, 9.1 ABV, but
wow, yeah, mine was like
ABV should guide it, but you know,
shit. Maybe it was $5.99. I'm thinking about. I don't know. I bought a lot of pounder cans, the 16 ounces, and like I said, the $4 to $5 range it starts getting blurry.
Yeah, I think the marshmallow one I paid like $5.50 for it.
Yeah, maybe it was like $5.50. Yeah, it's probably you guys are probably right.
Yeah.
I got a better deal than I did
because I actually mentioned the review. So I mentioned the review. They are a nano brewery in Mamaroneck, New York, and they are actually distributed by Evil Twin distribution company, 12% LLC, and they are brewed at the Dorchester Brewing Company and contract brewed there. Because I was like, okay, there's this nano brewery in fucking middle of nowhere, New York. How does somebody in Kentucky get their stuff? And how does somebody in Indiana get their stuff? You guys aren't trading for it. Stuff like, how is it showing up here? And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're contracting brewing at a bigger brewery, and then Evil Twins basically distributing probably in their distribution areas. So that makes sense that you guys are seeing it. I actually shouted you out, Rod, and I mentioned I mentioned Todd as well. But I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, he's, and I was like, wait, the review's not up yet. He hasn't posted a review, and I was like, spoilers, he loved it. Because I remember seeing the Untapped check-in. You're like, this is great, 4.75. I was like, holy shit. All right.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.75. I thought it was really good, but it's funny. I'm looking through let's do a segment just on reading Untapped reviews. Just do a show reading.
Oh, they're so great. You gotta love it. You're looking at someone who's drinking a sour. You're like, I don't like this. It's too sour. What the fuck? You're drinking a sour. What do you do with your life?
Well, this guy, like I read like Norman Miller. This beer is a mind bender. Flavors you wouldn't think would work together somehow come together in harmony.
Yeah,
4.25. I'm thinking if you're in a mind bender, probably a little higher than a 4.
Yeah, if it's fucking blowing your shit up, it's like, whoa, what's that? This is basic. I'd give it like a 93 garbage.
Like Drew Frederick says, well, this is well done. Sweetness of the marshmallow and vanilla tones nicely balanced, 4.5. Okay, that's respectable for that one. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question about that beer. Did you guys really get much of the IPA characteristic out of it, or was it more of like the marshmallow, like vanilla sweet vanilla beans? I think they use in that.
Which beer was that?
You didn't have it, Eric. The decadent ales.
I had the double toasted. Eric had. Todd had what? The regular toasted.
No, I had the.
Oh, you had double toasted also.
Yeah, he had it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get as much of the IPA quality out of it. I mean, I got maybe a little bit on the background of it, I guess you can say, but it was mainly the some of that sweetness, like you mentioned. I got like the vanilla out of it. I got kind of like I won't say it was like a graham cracker type feel, but you definitely got more kind of feel along those lines.
How about you, Todd? Same thing?
Yeah, same here. I was going to say the same thing. It's almost like you're eating without the chocolate around the campfire. It was kind of, I don't know about you, Rod, but it kind of had, I don't know if it was just kind of more of a middle thing. It almost kind of had like a smoky feel to it, but the marshmallow was definitely present. I mean, you could definitely get a lot of the marshmallow sweetness.
When I did it,
then on the back end, the IPA kind of hoppiness kind of kicked in, but it wasn't real present though.
It did come in more in the finish, but I like in the flavor profile. I noticed sweet vanilla, smooth, hoppy, coconut, tropical citrus, and creamy. Because I did get a little bit of coconut.
Oh my god, I should have picked that up, motherfuckers. They'll release it again. So I had here's the funny thing. Hearing you guys say that, I had pretty much the same experience with the French toast one. If they would have just put French toast ale on it, I would have been like, I don't rate the style, but like if they would have just put French toast ale, it would have made more sense, because I did get on the back end a dryness that I associated with the hops, but I didn't get any really hop character. There was nothing. There was no citrus or tropical stone fruits or dankness or herbal or pine or anything, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. It was like breakfast in a glass to a point, because there was so much like maple syrup and the cinnamon. I even did get a little marshmallow too, even though there's nothing in there, vanilla. It was a really cool experience, but I just feel like if they just eliminated the IPA portion of it, I would have been more in tune. Like if I had to rate it by style, I think I said I'd give it like a 3 out of 5 because it didn't really have IPA characteristics. But because I don't rate the style, I really enjoyed it. I gave it like a 4. I think it was pretty tasty.
You didn't get the tropical on your back end, then.
No, I didn't. I really almost got no IPA. Like the only IPA characteristics which could have been confused a bit with the alcohol was just there was a pretty good dryness, which balanced out the sweetness, which made it way more drinkable than I assumed because you're hit with like that maple syrup, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of maple, and then all of a sudden that dryness came in and kind of balanced stuff out. But at no point would if I did that blind, there's no way in hell I would ever say that was an IPA of any sort. And my can was like 2 weeks old, so I'm like, there's nothing to do with freshness, like Eric. Sorry.
Sorry, wow. Low blow there. Low blow.
It's not Eric's fault, though. It's not Eric's fault.
I also had their double tropical smoothie also from them.
How was that?
That was really good also. I mean, for me, they were 2 for 2. I actually rated that one a little better than the double toasted marshmallow.
If Eric gets their,
it was a little more towards the IPA than the marshmallow.
They have that. Did you guys just see the Citra? That was the other one that showed up here recently. I didn't get it though.
I haven't seen that one. This is the only one I've seen from Decadent.
Like, I think you're going to see more because, like I said, Evil Twins distribution company is distributing them, and I mean, you guys have already saw those, and I've seen them, and they're in other places. I've seen somebody, I think it was in Oklahoma or something, get them. So I'm like, clearly they're making the rounds.
Well, even the company, the place I buy this at that brought out, they did it to a raffle. It wasn't even hit the shelves. So it was like just to the veteran people that spent money there, the VIP members.
We have a couple comments.
Our store carries a one can limit on it, so you can only get it limited.
Yeah, there was no limit. I bought actually 2 of the French toast. One I'm going to take over my cousin's house this weekend because his girlfriend enjoys like the weird, like different IPAs, and I was like, yeah, this is different. Paul says, no matter I win or lose, I will always still be a loser like the rest of you sad sods.
But you're more of a loser.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to Paul, you're a loser. He also says going to Lakewood Sunday morning, Joe. That's awesome. So he's going to Lakewood, New York, Southern Tier Brewing Company.
Oh yeah,
that's where it's located. I've been to their brewery, and it is a pretty fantastic. The area is beautiful. Like the brewery itself is gorgeous. I'd highly recommend anyone ever in the area check it out because it's nice. Even if you don't necessarily care for their beer, we've already done Southern Tier, and we all enjoy it. So. And then Tim's Brew says, no way, I have to retire. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Well,
but that's all we have for comments. How many people are we still watching us? We got 4, down to 4. So.
We're a lively bunch.
We had like 5 to 8, and it was random bouncing around. So I do appreciate everybody commenting. That's part of the fun of doing this, obviously, honestly.
Yeah. No doubt, but I don't know. It's 11 o'clock. I don't know how to wrap it up.
Sure, I'm good to go whenever.
It's your show, buddy. It's your show.
Yeah, I don't hear any squirtles in the attic.
I haven't heard Jack. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do an after show like you do sometimes, I'm around for a good hour and a half. I don't know how long people are.
I'm off tomorrow, so I can do an after show.
Yeah, I'm down. I need to get another beer.
Same here.
What'd you say, Eric?
Unfortunately, I am not.
Yeah.
Gotta go to work tomorrow.
Well, I think I would just drink the rest of that terrible beer and then contact Brooklyn and be like, "What the fuck, mate? What are you guys doing here? Like, we need to have a talk.
This situation,
baby. I need to speak to Garrett Oliver right now, baby. He might be a genius, but baby, what is up with this?
I may not be a smart man, but I know an old beer when I see it."
Also, I don't know the reference, but I have to agree. And then he says, everyone remember to flag Joe's channel. It's good advice. I have 99 subs, so if you guys want to unsub so I can get further away from 100, that's cool too.
99? I thought you had 100.
I got 99 subs, but Paul probably isn't one, I would imagine.
Well, we know Paul's not one. We know that.
No, I don't bag for subs, but I was like, I'm on 99. That's actually the last person who subbed was like, I'm your 99th. Hopefully you get to 100. And I'm like, I guess. Sure.
You put the jinx on you.
Yeah, maybe.
They just do it for the notification bell. They don't do it for the sub.
No, they don't. Well, I will say this. There are some people that I'm not going to name names because I really don't even remember. But there are some people that have, subbed my channel and commented or whatever, and then I go check out their stuff, and I don't think they watch any of my stuff. They just sub, and then they expect me to watch their stuff, and I'm like, I'll watch it if I enjoy it. So, and I get it. I would prefer, and I'm with my views. You were giving me shit, trolled me the other day on Facebook. He's like, I noticed your views have fallen off a bit, and I'm like, well, I have 99 subs. Most of my first 8 videos have 60 views. Pretty sure that is not sustainable to retain 2/3 of my audience. It's not going to happen. He's like, my views are down to about 40 or so on my last couple. That's still 2/5 of the people that if I get 2/5 of the subs I always have, that's fantastic. I'm like, I have, listen, even one person watching is cool. He's giving me stuff, but it's listen, you sub because you want to watch. That's why I sub to people. I watch their stuff or I want to watch it.
You got to join it. Why would you sub to it?
I don't do sub for subs unless I enjoy your channel. End of story. I'm not going to sub just because you're like, I subbed to you. Did you sub to me because you want to watch my content? You sub to me because you want me to sub back. Right. Because at the end of the day, if you sub to me and I sub to you and we don't watch either channel, then it's pointless. It's just a blank number. I mean, Drunken One talked about it. We it's whatever, 1,300 subs, and he's like, I only get 100 views on my stuff or whatever because he did the sub for sub stuff. Yeah, that's the trap you fall into.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm enjoying it. I'm not doing it for subs. Whatever. I enjoy fucking being a beer tube brand story. It's fun.
Have you guys watched Simon's video yet?
I haven't yet. Not yet.
I don't want to see that. That brewery, I would like to go there. That brewery looks pretty cool.
Because
he had one video when he did the tour over there too.
Yeah. I don't watch his stuff anymore, but I wish some. No, not. I just don't. I used to back in the day. I just don't anymore. But I would like to see someone go to that brewery. That sounds cool. Because you got us the $1.99 deals for each of those. I wanted
deal for that beer.
I want to do a single video and do a comparison between the 3, but then I look at them, they're all whatever, 10, 11, 12%. I'm not doing them all in one video. I'll be fucking done. I'll be done. But that would be cool to do a side by side between the bourbon, the regular, and the brown.
3 of them. I still got 3 left, but I want to put the individual ones out.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Eric. Come on, man.
I'd like to go back and get more, but they haven't had any more come in yet.
I was looking a little bit up about them, and it looks like Shelton Brothers were the distribution of them, and they're the ones that distribute Prairie, for example. So, because I never heard of that brewery ever before.
I didn't either. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it was well invested.
Yeah.
That brandy one was outstanding. Holy cow, that was good.
You seem to enjoy it.
Well, the one place down in Texas that sent me the beer, that Edelbert's Brewing, their gin barrel one was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
I like the different barrels. It doesn't always have to be a bourbon barrel beer. There's other stuff to use. So, and some of the wine barrel ones have been pretty good that I've had recently.
We have some more comments. They're interesting. Paul said mate because I said what the fuck mate. I did say that, Paul. So yeah, that happened. William Kepley's here and he says Eric's Brooklyn beer, 6 years old, average NFL career 3.3 years. Your beer is almost double the average NFL career.
That beer is out.
William, thanks.
Paul says he hovers around 580 subs. And he says, I am sure Jay subbed to the Great Corruptor. Yeah, he definitely didn't. He also says, I get about 8 views a video, ha, ha, ha. And then he says, but my channel's terrible. True words never spoken. Absolute shit show over there.
Who said that?
Paul. Horrible. Paul, just paint all the time because your views are fucking
just paint.
Awesome.
Yeah, just paint. You're infinitely better at painting than you are at drinking beer. No, not drinking. Sorry, you're great at drinking beer. Reviewing it, not so much.
If you had called drunk painting, I think it would go off the charts.
Review a beer, get hammered, paint a picture, and the little trees because they're not happy. Jamie from Basement Beers says 8 views, 1 from me and 7 from Joe. I do a lot of refreshing on Paul's channel because I feel like he deserves it. And then Paul says, "Yep." And then he says, "Masturbating." I'm not saying that. Sorry, Paul. Not saying that. We're not gonna say this. This is a clean, like TV 14 channel. And then that's it. Then we have him and Jamie giving high fives to one another. It looks like. Nice that you showed up, Jamie, albeit a little late. I did want to point out we had some very intense competition tonight. We have craft beer pours with the tagline for his video, the title being "Wife is away, CBP will play." And he was like hovering around 10 to 14 viewers. And then Tyler Mankel, he had a Mickey's live review going on. And then Albino Rhino has 10 people watching his BDU that started exactly when we did. So a lot of competition going on tonight. So just to point out, maybe the loot. And we also had Junior's brew review, Papa Top. He had a sweet name for his live show that was just Penis was the name of his live show. So yeah, we a lot of competition tonight.
Yeah, I see Albino's still going right now too. Yeah.
Maybe
Crash his channel.
Maybe just hop over there and
see Ashley Sexton is the icon right now.
Is he?
On his thumbnail, on my screen. So it's Ashley.
Yeah.
I see the robot, so it means Nick's there.
Nick's over there. Yeah. Interesting.
Hey, it's always fun. Who was that?
What?
My cat came in here and just yelled at me. So he needs to settle down. You need to settle down. He comes in, he's like, wow. All right, that's great. He's announced your arrival. Yeah, now he's leaving. That's great. Thank you for the arrival. Get the hell out of the room. Oh, now he's staring at me. Yeah, I'm talking to you. What do you want to do about it? Get out of the room. Jesus.
He just wants some attention.
He beelined in here, looked at me, went, wow, and then just turned right around and walked out like, I don't know, stop talking. I can't. I talk a lot. Anyway, I think we're done. All right. Are we done?
So, Eric.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys. If you guys have had to, this is probably my most sober one I've done. But, guys, if you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver, because if you don't, you're going to try to be a hero and drive home drunk. You're going to get pulled over by the cops. You're going to do the stupid sobriety test. They're going to make you look like a fool. Then you're going to get a free ride to jail. Then you're going to have court fees and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is put yourself 6 feet under, right? And hurt your family and friends. Just sleep off your buzz. You get your car the next day. Get an Uber, a taxi, a Lyft. Have the bartender get you a ride. Just someone to, just have someone come get you, because we all want to see you here next week.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But at least the ride to jail is free. So get that work.
Yeah. And this is not in reference to Eric's PSA whatsoever, but we don't really want to see you here next week, Paul. Just clarification.
Wow.
You just don't show up. The world's a better place next week.
Wow.
Thursday night. I love you. I love you, Paul.
Paul's safe out in the woods.
No, I don't know. Sasquatches. Don't get Paul started on Sasquatch. I'll tell you some stories. And we're not talking about him. We're talking about actual Sasquatches. So it apparently exists, right, Paul?
That all being said, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We've been on here for a couple hours tonight, and thanks for everybody that watched, everybody that contributed. Thanks to Eric and Lions fan here, the Beer Patrol. Thanks to Todd. Anybody you want to list from the comments, Joe, before you wrap up?
Nah, they're all pieces of crap. No, I love them all. Shout out Lee, who was here first. Jason Voorhees, Tyler Finkbeiner, Malt Mustang, Billy. Appreciate all the comments. He was going ham on those comments. Chris from on the 10th, Foamy Head. He commented a lot. Erica Lions fan. I don't know who that is. Tim's Brews. He came in. He then left us with the whole grown apples thing. You were Teku Murphy. Teku, no one cares. Jamie from Basement Beer Reviews. Obviously, Paul from PA Brew News. and William Kepley, of course. And he has one last Jamie. He's going to start a live stream to compete, and you and Rhino will each lose a viewer. Me. And then he says, "Time to shut her down. Joe has a cat to beat." I'm not Paul. I'll just gently shove him. And then Basement Beer, they always do the so and so killed those women. He says, "Beer Patrol killed those kittens." I don't kill kittens. I don't. And then William says Eric should get pulled over by the beer code date police.
Yeah.
I didn't look, William. I did not look. That's on me.
Yeah. And Ethan shows up and says, "Hello, all." Hi, Ethan. Bye, Ethan. We're taking off, Ethan, but nice to see you for 27 seconds.
And I got to figure out what the hell to do with this mirror. So
yeah, I'd probably smash it because it has Chrome on it. I'd assume something like that. You did pay $50 for it, but I mean, just picture that as being a 6-year-old IPA and just smash it, drain port, whatever. It's all the same.
$8.06.
Well, it's true. That's about $8,000 in rod money based on his deals.
Big ass mirror.
That's like 16 cases of beer for Rod.
Yeah, that is literally.
Probably resell it to a bar. Hell, we'll buy that from you for $100. All right, there you go. That'd be a market.
Sold.
Yeah.
Are we coming back with an after show, or have you not decided?
You guys, we come back with an after show. I'm just going to be kicking it. So yeah. So
kick it. Dun, 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 dun.
Eric, never again. And also to everyone.
Never again.
Sure. Sure.
God damn it! I knew he was gonna do it. No, all the people in the comments, will be coming back, especially Ethan since he showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep a lookout. Next couple minutes. No, next 5-10 minutes.
Thanks for everybody participated. We'll catch you here in a little bit. Keep drinking those good craft beers. If you're not coming back, remember there's always time. Get your beer on.
Deuces.
Bye.
Thank you.